Hi guys, Veggie Gamer back, and we're back to playing Five Nights at Freddy's World. Although to tell you the truth, guys, like it says in the comments, this is actually just a news response, really. Basically, you may have heard the controversy over this game, so I thought I'd just do some leveling up whilst talking to you about it all. So obviously this game went live, I think last weekend. I put out a video as soon as I could for it. When I was recording it, I was all very upbeat and positive about it. I wasn't really thinking about quality of game or anything like that. But basically this game has already been taken down from Steam, and Scott has actually put out an apology saying that the game wasn't up to the quality that he wanted it to be and stuff like that. And so you can no longer buy this on Steam. I'm able to play it because I bought it on day one. That happened to me with Arkham Knight as well, where I was able to play it absolutely fine, but it got taken down from Steam because people just weren't able to run it properly. But yeah, I was able to play it throughout for some reason. But anyway, guys, like I say, the game's been taken down from Steam, and I thought I'd just put out a response video to my thoughts about it and what I think about the game and everything like that. If you've watched my previous videos talking about Scott and his games and everything, you know that I'm very pro Scott and everything like that, and so I'm going to try and keep this very unbiased. I just find it impressive what he's done with these games, especially in such a short time span. But this one has come out, and this is the first one that has had that he's really he's basically apologized for it. He actually put out a statement saying, "I'm sorry, the game isn't exactly what I wanted it to be. There's things I could have done, but I ended up rushing it out for some reason." And yeah, it's just him apologizing about it. He said that he's actually going to be refunding everyone who's bought it, going to be refunding their money, which, I think it's a real shame. I get the impression that this game may go down as the lowest point in his game creating career, but yeah, he said that he's going to repay everyone's money that's bought it, and when the game comes back out with all the extra features, it will be completely free. And so he's basically taking a huge loss on this game. So anyway, let's get talking about the actual controversy. So if you looked on Steam when it was still there, it actually said that this game was rated as very positive. But the top comments, even so, were actually slagging the game off and criticizing it for not being very complex, being very basic, being ultra basic. In fact, having very little a UI, telling you who's who and what your stats are and what level you are and everything like that. Which are all absolutely valid points, guys. When I first played it, when I was recording the last episode, I just didn't even think about that stuff. Seriously, I was just completely in the zone thinking, holy crap, I'm playing Five Nights at Freddy's World. And especially when I'm recording a gameplay, I always try to stay very positive about the game. There's very few gameplays that I've done where I'm basically slagging off the game throughout the entire thing. There are a couple, I think. I can't even remember what their names are. But like I say, though, the top comments, even though overall it was voted as being very positive, were all very negative. Now, a lot of them were making very good points. A lot of them were just making jokes, which is, if that's what you want to do, then that's fine. But a lot of them were making very good points about it being very shallow, really not having that much content to it compared to any other RPG. Some comments, I saw one comment saying, I hate Five Nights at Freddy's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now I hate this. So, that just blows my mind. That guy has genuinely gone out and bought all 5 games, even though he doesn't like them. That one annoyed me, to tell you the truth, guys. If you don't like a game, that's fine. Just don't go and buy it. Unless you're working for a reviewing magazine or something like that. There is no one's holding a gun to your head saying you have to buy these games. That one annoyed me a little bit, but anyway, that's really not the point. The point here is talking about this game. So, like I say, when I first played it, I really wasn't thinking about the quality of the game. But after reading these reviews, I can kind of see their point. The game is kind of shallow when you compare it to other RPGs. There really isn't that much to it. And the fact is, this is I think I paid £7 for it or something like that, which is there are a lot more cheaper RPGs on Steam, and so this game should be living up to those standards as well. And as Scott has removed it, he obviously agrees. But the statement that he put out about it was a little bit odd, to tell you the truth. Now, like I say, guys, I am a huge Scott fan. I think that what he has done is phenomenal with these games. I think that he's basically made this brand, which I think does transcend the horror genre. Obviously, he did 4 games in horror, which worked really well. I mean, you know my opinions on Five Nights at Freddy's 4. I'm terrified of it because I bit my tongue. But aside from that, These games were already good. They absolutely get your heart racing, the original Five Nights at Freddy games. Especially the first two were just insane. Seriously, you need to try those out if you haven't. But then Scott decides to do an RPG. Now, I can kind of see where he was thinking, because, like I say, these characters, I believe, have transcended the horror genre. Because if you go onto any, like, fan websites or, like, art websites or anything like that, all the fan art on there's loads of it for Five Nights at Freddy, but very, very few of it is actually horror-based. A lot of it is just of the characters. People just like these characters, which I think is awesome, and so I can fully understand why Scott would think, okay, well, let's try and take these characters in a different different angle then, trying to, like, have them portrayed in, like, maybe a more cutesy way, like they're designed on here. Even the scary ones are cute. I didn't even have to do anything that time. Okay, I'm definitely leveling up pretty well. I think that we might be able to go into the... Oh, God. Oh, no, it's not Chica again. She kicks my ass. Okay, switch teams. And just try and absolutely blitz them. Hopefully they will be able to absolutely kick their ass. This is my assault team. Munchies. Definitely good. So, yeah, I can fully understand why Scott would try to take these characters in a different direction, but I think that the fact that it is an RPG might actually be the mistake that he made. I think that if you're going to change, like, the genre of game that significantly, you have to make sure you get it right. And I don't want to say that the Five Nights games were probably easier to make than an RPG, but looking at this game, you kind of get that impression where maybe the Five Nights games took a lot less time, because it's all very still images with, like, still characters, obviously, apart from when Foxy's running down the corridor. Whereas RPG is a very, very different thing. Now, that's not to say that RPG is out of his reach. He shouldn't be able to do it, because I think that there are a lot of RPG makers that couldn't make as good a horror game as Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and 2 and the later ones as well. I think that 1 and 2 are probably the best ones, but I like Springtrap though, guys, so I had to have 3 in there as well. Oh, God, here we go. Here we go. So I think the fact that he changed genre to RPG, maybe he expected it to be easier than it actually was, potentially. I mean, if you look in the original trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's World, you have a 3D Freddy running around a 3D world. That, compared to what we're seeing right here, is very different, unless that's something that happens later on in the game, which I doubt it might be. Like I say, I'm still very early in it. I really need to just level up. But having that in the trailer, and then having this, well, not this, but the world map, like as you just saw, being so simplistic, I think that either he bit off more than he could chew, or yeah, I think that that's it to tell you the truth, guys. And apparently he rushed it out as well. Apparently he actually released it before he actually planned on doing so. But the fact that he said that, okay, the game wasn't what I wanted it to be, so I'm going to take it back down, that quote bothers me, guys. That, like I say, I'm a massive Scott fanboy. I've made videos about it, just talking about him, not even his games, and talking about why people should respect him and everything like that. But saying, okay, there were things that I wanted in the game which weren't in the game because I rushed it out, that's a bit naughty. I don't like the fact that he said that, guys. That is basically him saying that when he did rush it out, he was thinking, this will do. And that sort of attitude in game creation is a dodgy one. And maybe I just read it incorrectly, but that's the impression that I got, where he thought, okay, there are things that I would like to put in the game, but I'm going to rush it out anyway. That to me suggests that he's just saying, well, no one's going to complain and it'll do. That bothers me, guys. I don't think that part of his, like, apology letter, and it is an apology, actually starts off by saying sorry. That part of his, like, letter to the community, it worried me. I think that that's an odd thing to say that the game could have been better, but I decided to release it, but I'm still charging you as much as I do for the other games. I love you, Scott, but that little thing bothered me a bit. I think there also is a kind of thing where people are kind of glad that it's failing. Like I say, there were comments on Five Nights at Freddy's World, the review section, by people who hate, like, Scott, hate his games, hate the characters, hate everything about Five Nights at Freddy's. To tell you the truth, guys, their opinions of the game shouldn't really be that relevant. I can't see why the 5th game in a series of games they're still reviewing them and talking about them. Personally, if there's a game which I don't like, I don't think there's any game which I actually hate. Not that I can think of. Unless it's something like Bark vs. Space Marines, but that's because of like controls and stuff like that. If you truly hate a game series, then just don't play them anymore. And if you want to just like drag the game series down, then it probably isn't the game quality that you're complaining about. It's probably the fact that people appreciate the game and you don't. So yeah, those reviews bothered me a bit. The ones where they're just basically saying, I hate Five Nights at Freddy's and I hate this game. That's great. I mean, I don't go on to like games which I don't like and review them because there's no point. I just distance myself from those games. But I think that it's such a popular thing online now, and people say they can't get away from Five Nights at Freddy's, which I don't believe that. You can get away from Five Nights at Freddy's, guys. Come on now. You can get away from Five Nights at Freddy's, and a lot of YouTubers like play it and everything like that, and a lot of YouTubers complain about it whilst they're playing it. But again, no one's holding a gun to their head saying you have to play this game. The only reason why they're playing it is because they know that they're going to get views for it. If they hate the game, but they're still playing it, it's purely for financial gain. And so, how much can you really complain about a game if it's going to be making you money? I don't know. I'm getting way off topic here, guys. Basically, what I'm saying is I can understand that people are disappointed with this, especially looking at that trailer that we had ages ago. Looking at this, it's such a lower scope game. Unless there are parts later on where it becomes a lot more 3D, like on the trailer, then I can understand people being absolutely let down. And the fact that Scott said that there were things that he wanted to put in but didn't, that bothers me. But the fact that he's taken it back down from Steam, I think it's a good decision, and it shows the guy is decent, and he's really apologized. He said that he's going to be giving all the money back, and he's going to be putting the game up for free when it's done. He's a decent guy, guys. You have to admit that he is. Even if you don't like his game, you have to appreciate his like attitude when it comes to the feedback that he gets from his community. And if you think that this whole news just reflects badly on Scott as a games designer, I highly recommend going to check out Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and 2, guys. They are actually bloody good, and maybe you've just like watched some footage of them and thought, nah, they look rubbish or anything like that. Actually playing them, it's so freaking scary and intense and freakish. Seriously, if you watch someone play it and you've decided your opinion on that, I think that is a bad way to go about it. Definitely go and play it yourself, guys, and you'll see that Scott, when he's doing his best work, is bloody good, and it's the reason why this series has become so freaking popular. I think that this might just be a low point in his career, but I really hope that it doesn't like screw him over. Maybe he rushed out because he needed the money like from the game soon. But like I say, he's going to be losing all that money now, so you know, it obviously didn't work out for him. A lot of people have also said that Five Nights at Freddy's games have just become cash-ins now, where he's just trying to make as much money as possible from doing the least work. But the fact that he has pulled it from Steam, the fact that the game is going to be free when it comes back out, and the fact that he's actually going to be repaying people the money that they paid for the game. If you need an example of something not being a cash-in there, guys, remember this game was still rating at very positive when it got taken down from Steam. That absolutely is solid proof to me that he is absolutely not a cash-in guy, that he wants these games to be good. And if they're not good enough, then he takes them back down. The fact that he is repaying the money, you can't tell me he's just cashing in, because he's in fact losing money on this, because obviously the time that he's put into it, which is obviously a lot of time. When the game comes back out, when it's updated, I would like there to be more animations, so they're not all just standing here like this, just shaking back and forth, and then occasionally moving when you do a move. I'd like to see like idle animation, more idle animations, more attack animations, more like death animations, because obviously right now he just turned into a tombstone and stuff like that. I would love to see a lot more stats. I would love in the top corner up in the right where it has the names to actually tell you who is who, because that actually confuses me. It probably shouldn't do. But it does bother me that it doesn't have their names, or maybe a little face up in the corner next to the health bar. I would love stats to know what level everyone is, even in the battles, but anywhere, just telling you what level everyone is. Because right now, I think there's no real level system. It's just a case of getting more health, which isn't really a level system. That would definitely improve the game. I'd like there to be like an attack gauge, which is the first thing I actually mentioned in my original video, saying I find it hard to work out why I'm not able to attack, because I just seem to be standing here, there's no feedback. Like on Final Fantasy VII, when you're not able to attack, then there's a little gauge underneath the health bar just filling up, and once it fills up, then you're able to attack again. That I think will really help out as well. Maybe a bit more storyline. I mean, I'm not very far into it, but right now it is just basically been talking to Fazbear, and that's really pretty much it. But like I say, I'm not very far into the game, so I really can't judge it. I think I've leveled up quite a lot, guys, so I think I might end the video there. I'm hoping it isn't too rambly. This is actually my second attempt at making this video, because I realised that the first one was just completely and utterly, like, rambly as hell. I didn't even have a clue what the hell I was trying to say. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you a Five Nights at Freddy's fan? Have you played this? Did it live up to your expectations? Was it as bad as all the negative reviews were saying? Maybe you don't like the series. Tell me why you don't like the series. What experience you have with playing them, and the reason why you got turned off by them. Are you sick and tired of people talking about Five Nights at Freddy's? I think there might be a few people who say that. I can kind of understand it, guys, but like I say, if you want to avoid something, you can avoid it. I'm not gonna like believe all this crap where everyone is getting tricked into watching Five Nights at Freddy videos. No one's getting tricked, guys. If your favorite YouTuber keeps on playing that game, it's because maybe they enjoy it. It also means that they're going to be making money off it. And at the end of the day, with the big YouTubers, it is a business, and so it makes sense for them to play what are the most popular games. And these games are popular. They're kind of like a Marmite game where you either really love them or really hate them. Personally, I think that they're great. I respect Scott a hell of a lot. Some parts of his letter that he put out, like I say, they rubbed me the wrong way, to tell you the truth. But that's the first time I've ever said anything against Scott. I think that what he has done with these characters and this series is just phenomenal. That's just my opinion. Let me know your opinion in the comments. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope this footage hasn't been too boring. It's literally just been me walking left and right. We've unlocked Phantom Chica though, which is pretty awesome. But if you're new here, then please subscribe, guys. I'm going to be doing a hell of a lot more Five Nights at Freddy's World. I'm going to be continuing to play it, even though it's not actually out on Steam. And so you'll be getting the old version like this until the update comes out. And then hopefully my save file will be able to just be moved straight over. Come on, just take this guy out. If you have any other games which you think I should try out for the channel, definitely let me know, guys. I do lots of horror games, indie games, horror, Happy Wheels, all that sort of good stuff. So if you've got an idea, let me know in the comments, guys. I love taking suggestions. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I've been a Veggie Gamer, and I'll see you next time.